Today, we are looking at Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure for the Super Nintendo. Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure was released on the Super Nintendo by JVC in 1994. Grab your trusty whip and slash your way through all three Indiana Jones classics video game adventure. If it happens in the movies, it happens here. The giant boulder from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the minecart chase from the Temple of Doom, the three trials from The Last Crusade. It's 3 times the indie, all in one blockbuster game. Remember, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button as it helps out this channel grow. And don't forget to hit the notification button for all future videos. So, how is Indiana Jones today? Here is our review of Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure for the Super Nintendo. The game's plot closely resembles from the first 3 Indiana Jones films, with text appearing at the bottom of the screen and a compressed image from the movie indicating visually which scene is being played out. The tale is delivered fairly well. Unfortunately, if you're not familiar with the plot of the Indiana Jones films, it might be difficult for you to understand what is happening because the plot has been severely stripped down and doesn't make much sense without seeing the films. The majority of the games take place in stages that are modeled by scenes from the movies, with the player controlling Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones uses his whip as his primary weapon, although he may also punch or roll into opponents to inflict damage. Occasionally, a gun with infinite ammo can be found, and there are a limited amount of grenades. The whip may be used to swing over pits in addition to being used for assault. The game occasionally deviates from their usual action and immerses the player in a variety of other sorts of gameplay like flying a plane, driving a minecart, or rafting down a mountain. The game's controls are executed really well. Select changes between your pistol and the whip, Y utilizes the current weapon, B jumps, A rolls, X launches a grenade, L and R throws a punch, and a directional pad controls your character. Most of the 2D levels are executed really well, and many of them provide distinctive obstacles that you must overcome in order to go to the next level. For instance, when you explore the tunnels, you must continually look for safe havens from the regular walls of fire that scream past you. Another level requires you to use your whip to avoid windows that burst into flames. The Super Star Wars series engine is used by Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure, which is split into 28 sections, many of which are side-scrolling levels and others which are driving stages. Indy resumes from the beginning of the current area or the most recent checkpoint if he dies while on that level. Now, all 3 of the movies are featured in the game, but Raiders of the Lost Ark is the only one playable upon the start of the game. In order to play Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, the player must progress through the game or use a password. The visuals in Greatest Adventures are great. Both Indiana Jones and the enemies that he encounters throughout the game have an excellent amount of animation. There are several graphic touches. For instance, leaves move when Indy walks over them, and if Indy's feet hit water while swinging across with his whip, a splashy effect will happen. The Super Nintendo's color palette is effectively utilized to recreate the atmosphere of the Indiana Jones films, with levels seeming either dark or dreary or colorful depending on the setting they are aiming to recreate. The backgrounds are also well done and can be quite dynamic. Particularly praises go to the background in the Nazi's castle as lightning flashes throughout the windows. The music in this game is good, as John Williams' soundtrack makes a great transition into the video game format. The score is not overly used, however, as the game designers made the wise choice of leaving some levels with only the wind and other atmospheric sound to keep you company, which certainly helps heighten the mood in these particular levels. The sounds are unfortunately more of a mixed bag. It is nice to hear some voice in the game. It almost makes it worthwhile hearing Sean Connery saying, "I've lost him," after he ran out of lives. The crack of the whip is also another nice audio highlight. Everything else is just average. The bullets fired from your gun don't really sound like gunshots. Enemies' death sound are uninspired, and the sound from your plane when you're shooting down Nazi warplanes is hardly awe-inspiring. Although Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure isn't very long, it does include its fairly dose of difficulty gameplay that makes winning the game satisfying. A total of 4 lives are given to Indiana Jones at the beginning of the game, and he may get more lives by either gathering 100 jewels or finding one of the game's rare 1-up tokens that are hidden throughout the game. You have 6 hits before you lose one of your lives, and as shown by the health meter at the top of the corner, you will typically die right away if you fall into a pit, which happens frequently, or use any other quick death techniques that the specific levels had in store for you, like the boulder from Raiders of the Lost Ark. This game is a blast to play. It's Castlevania meets Super Star Wars, and whipping Nazis before latching onto a hook and swinging across the pit doesn't get old. The game is a bit more forgiving than the Super Star Wars series, but not by much. Oftentimes, especially in the Last Crusade levels, you'll find enemies next to pits throwing things at you, and one hit knocks you back into the pit, costing you a life. Once you learn to stay back and play patiently though, this becomes less of an issue. Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure is a great experience of some of the greatest movies ever released. This is a really good game, and it's certainly worth the title to add to any of the Super Nintendo collection. One of the biggest complaints is I just wish you could pick any of the 3 movies right at the beginning. But if you have a password, if you know the password, it's not a big issue. Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure for the Super Nintendo is getting a 9 out of 10. What did you think about Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventure for the Super Nintendo? Please leave comments below to share your thoughts. That would do it for this episode. We do live streams throughout the week, mostly games from the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch, and we also do retro games throughout the week as well. And remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you here in the next episode. Have a great day.